Hello, hello, my beautiful people. We are back on our interview series, and today I am so excited to have one of our panel specialists that is going to come on our next Micro Summit on April 12th on chronic illness and recovery. And today we have Liz Shuler. I am super excited to have her today in our conversation. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into her work, who she is, and how she serves people. And then we are super excited for her to tell us a little bit of what's going to come into why she's so excited to be part of it, why she decided to be part of our micro summit. Elizabeth, Liz, she's a somatic healer practitioner and psychedelic yoga therapist, and she's going to tell us all about it and how she come to do this kind of work. Because I know we all have a little bit of story. So welcome, Liz. Welcome so much. Welcome to our future provider interview.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
We are excited to have you here. And before anything else, I want to say thank you. Thank you to you for taking the time to be here today to share a little bit more of your work and also to be one of our experts that's going to speak and share her wisdom our next micro summit. So Liz, tell us a bit about your story. How did you come up with this work that you do today, and how exactly is let's say, what is your purpose, what got you to be here today?
Yeah, it's kind of a long, convoluted story, but in a nutshell, I started out in clinical mental health therapy. I was doing yoga for my own chronic pain and kind of autoimmune issues that were, a lot of them were trauma, childhood trauma triggered. And I thought I had to go through like the proper channels, right? So I went and I got my master's degree, I went and I got licensed, and then I started working overseas in schools, and it just kept feeling like it didn't fit and it didn't fit. And I couldn't use as much of the yoga as I wanted to. And there were just a lot of, the pathologizing and the medicalizing of everything, and you're broken and you need fixed, and I'm the one to fix you. Really didn't feel right. And I've always been a little bit of a dabbler in herbalism and plant medicines. So when I went back for my PsyD, I was trying to find something that fit better, that felt more aligned and more me and more helpful to me and my clients. And I ended up with long COVID at the same time. So I was kind of researching chronic illness, yoga therapy, and in that, what came up was psychedelics. And so I ended up doing my doctoral thesis on psychedelic-assisted therapy, using yoga therapy for integration and healing with that. And when we decided to move, and my partner decided it was his turn to go back to school, I decided I would move from the medical model towards the yoga therapy and psychedelic healing model.
That's incredible how something that pulled you towards this, even if it wasn't what you're looking for or not what you wanted. And is I seen it over and over when with all our providers. In the moment that something is switching in your life and you no longer can handle that or no longer want to be and live this way, something pulled you toward to find your own way in your
Yeah.
own way. And that afterwards becomes a natural way to start sharing with other people. So thank you so much for doing this, because there's so many people that are going through a lot and they
Yeah.
don't know what is best for them. And each one of us, we have a skill, a gift to provide to those people. So tell us a little bit of how do you exactly you serve? Because I know sometimes, it's a controversial with psychedelics and people are against and some people are very for those that experience it. So what is the myth about it and what is the reality, and how do you serve people at the best or with this kind of work?
Yeah, it's really, really complex, right? Because we are very complex systems. The plants themselves are very complex systems, even the substances. But I think the science is starting to catch up with the millennia of ancestral and traditional wisdom that we have about these plants and about these substances, that they are multi-system healers. They don't just work on the physical body, they work on the mental body and the energy body. And in yoga therapy, we talk about this as the koshas, the sheaths or the layers of us that aren't just physical. And that's true for plants and animals as well. They all have these different levels of being. And so the ancestral wisdom says these are multi-system, multi-dimensional healers. The science is starting to show that on a physical level, they are anti-inflammatory, they are immune modulating, they do a whole bunch of things in multiple systems of our body that we still don't quite understand and can't quite keep up with. But it's also showing that that mystical experience, that energetic experience, is a key part of how the psychedelics help heal us. And on top of that, the integration, so the stuff that you do after or during, after a macrodose or during a microdose cycle, is what is going to make it not just like a 2 or 3 week, I had the best experience of my life, but a lifestyle change, a healing that is lasting. And so yoga therapy is a really great vehicle for that, because they kind of work in very, very similar ways. It's like they slot together. If you look at the science, the research says that yoga therapy is also immune modulating, nervous system regulating, anti-inflammatory, right? So they're kind of doing the same things, but on different levels in different parts of the body. So I use mostly microdosing to introduce my clients to psychedelics, because it's very, very easy. It's simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. It's a low dose, so you aren't having the hallucinogenic experience that you would with a full dose or even a mini dose, but you are getting subtle physiological, mental, emotional, and energetic shifts that throughout a 4 to 8 week cycle can create amazing changes in your body, in your mind, and in your life.
It's very interesting. I'm always curious about something like this, for a different alternative of supporting your needs as a human being as you go into the transition of healing yourself, whatever that physical or both physical and emotional and psychological. So I love that. And like you said, it's nature. We are nature, plants are
Yes.
nature, is nothing.
Yes.
It's logic to use that. There's been, probably you know more than me, that there's been used for thousands of years
Mm-hmm.
by humans. So when it comes to the people that you support, what would you describe that is like the common of all the people that you support? What is the situation they come with to you to support them? What is the most common thing that they struggle with, and what, let's say, what they lose sleep over? Or what is that thing that they looking for your support when they come to you?
Yeah, it's again also complex, because most of the people that I serve are dealing with chronic illness or long COVID, and they are very complex conditions, right? Long COVID comes with over 200 different symptoms that can manifest with it. But most of the clients that I see, and I think part of this is because of the way that psychedelics have been stigmatized and, illegalized throughout the last 50 years, but they come to me after they've gone through the medical system and it hasn't done anything for them. Or the medical system has given them treatments that then create other problems, right? And so it's like putting a Band-Aid on that has other side effects that are not so great, instead of actually healing. A lot of the clients that I work with are the clients who are, achievers, right? They want to do, and go. And long COVID or autoimmune diseases or even like burnout has just stopped them in their tracks. And when I work with them, a lot of them start out with, I want to go back. I want to go back to the way things were. And where they end up is, I don't want to go back to the way things were. I want to create something new that actually works for me, that isn't going to make me sick again, right? That is going to make sure that I am living my life the way that feels the best for me and that works with my body no matter what's happening. So it's, again, very complex, and it depends person to person what symptoms are coming to me, what things that they're actually wanting to work on. I work with a lot of people with symptoms from long COVID that are not really physical, but mostly mental, like brain fog or focus issues or um, aphasia, where they can't think of the right word. So it's a different story every day.
Yeah. I find myself even as you describe, and probably the people are watching this, they will find themselves as like, oh yeah, I'm going through that, whatever is COVID or not. We find ourselves to those moments where things are not working inside of us the way we wanted, mentally or physically, and you're like, what's going on? And then you try all these things and feels like nothing work, and it's always good to be open that there are all the alternatives that you provide. And when it comes to the people that you help, is that what would be, maybe in like couple of minutes, what would be the most recommendation you give to people, or what would be a tip that they can take out of this discussion that they can implement before they come to see you, and then in the preparation to come to see you?
Yeah, I think letting go of expectations, right? Because everybody who comes to me is like, I have lost myself, right? This disease has taken me from myself. I want to be me again. And they want, again, that version of them that they should be, that they idealized, that pushed, that did all of these things that maybe weren't as healthy. And when we come into this work, the psychedelics, especially if you're working with plant medicine like psilocybin mushrooms, they have their own way of telling you what you actually need, not necessarily what you want. And so through this work, it's really good to let go of the expectations of what it should look like and be open to maybe what it could be like instead.
Mm, I love that. I think that can be implemented. That can be implemented not just not just on this topic, but I think in
Mhm.
anything in our lives. I'm gonna take that for today as my own tip because I have that too. Where so many expectations and then things doesn't. I will say not always. Every single time that you plan something, things never go according with the plan. They always go in
Yeah.
a different way. So thank you for that. And let's switch it from the entrepreneur point of view. For someone that is watching that maybe is thinking to become entrepreneur into the wellness and providing wellness in their own way, in their own gifts, as you've been into this business and entrepreneurial world for a while, what will be your advice for someone new? What would that be? What would you say to you a couple of years ago, or years ago when you started this?
Build relationships, right? Healing is relational. We need each other. We need the plants. We need the ecosystems around us. And we need each other in this work. Support each other, connect with each other. Because if you try to do it alone, it becomes more draining. It becomes a burden rather than a joy, rather than the purpose and the fulfilling calling that you came to this for, right? So leaning on each other, supporting each other, and creating community, I think is the biggest tip that I can give anybody coming into this work.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Definitely, that's what we do in the body, mind, and soul, because the body, mind, and soul is the all
Yes.
interconnected. And that's why we're here to support seekers and providers to find themselves, to find the seeker, the person is looking to resolve their health problems or their mental, emotionally, to find the right seeker that is, the match, like the matching between them. And that's why we're here to provide. So thank you so much for that. Where people can find you, where they can hold on, and what's coming new for you?
Yeah, I'm really active on LinkedIn. I'm starting to get more active on Instagram, so you can find me at Inner Evolution Coaching at either of those. And yeah, I'm open for DMs. You can email me. I'm pretty responsive. So my work is to help people. So even if you don't want to work with me personally, I will do my best to find somebody that will fit with you better or give you the tips that you need to do it by yourself.
Yes, that definitely is. Thank you so much. We will drop in the comments in the comments under this video. We will drop all the links so then people can connect with you. And also tell us a little bit what you're so looking forward to and decided to be part of our next Micro Summit, which is happening in April 12th. So very soon, in less than
Yes.
2 weeks, it's gonna happen, and we're super excited to be there. And Liz is gonna be one of our panelist speakers. So Liz, tell us, what did you decide to be part of the wellness, our wellness micro summit into chronic illness and recovery?
First, because I really admire what you are doing with making holistic well-being something that is a connection and a relationship rather than just, a transaction. But also because long COVID is something that has been around for 6 years now, right? And even before that, we've had chronic Lyme and we've had ME/CFS, and they've all kind of been dismissed by the medical community as, it's anxiety or it's just stress. And those are parts of it, obviously, but there's also a physiological part of it that isn't, we're not making it up. And so making sure that people understand that these symptoms are real, it is real, you're suffering, and that there is help even without the medical model. There are people here that have gone through it, that have worked through it and experienced it, that have something that might be helpful for you. And I think it's a really important advocacy piece to make sure that we are not forgetting people, because it's still happening. People are still contracting COVID and still getting long COVID. So
yes. Thank you for that awareness. It's so true. I was actually talking with a friend of mine the other day, and she said, like, I think I had COVID because she had certain symptoms. She was sick, and it's like, and she was talking with her husband, and it's like, no, it's not. It's like, just because we don't talk about it, that doesn't mean it's not happening. And
yeah.
just because we kind of pass it and push it away, that doesn't mean things are is happening. So thank you so much for your work and for what are you providing to people. And thank you for being part of this, saying yes and being part of our micro summit. It's an honor. Uh, for those that watching, I want you to know that our speakers, they decide to come on their own time to share their wisdom and their time and their experience with you. So we don't take this for granted. And thank you, Liz, for being here, for being part of our entrepreneurial world, but also our holistic world of we here to support and help people and guide each one of you towards the right audience. So thank you so much for that. Thank you everyone for being part of our interview, and please connect with Liz. She's gonna drop all her ways of connecting with her in the comments. And also, don't forget, if you didn't register yet for our micro summit, April 12th, it's gonna be in the morning on Sunday morning or afternoon, whatever the time is for you when you're gonna be there. But come there present live, and then you can ask Liz any questions you have and all our speakers. Or if you want to get deeper, like in a more deep conversation, and ask the questions that you might not feel comfortable yet to ask on a live stream, then you can hop on our VIP, where you're going to be in the Zoom room with the speakers, and you can ask all the questions you want, and you can have your breakup room, if you will, just with one speaker, or you can have the cohort of every speaker, their wisdom that they can share with you, and then they can help you to resolve a problem, or at least guide you towards what will be best for you. So thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you for being part of our Body, Mind and Soul group, and thank you, Liz, again, and we will see you soon. Register for the summit. Bye bye.